A new day has begun, and with it come the challenges that Tia Ka must face. Hello, my dear friends. Today, Tia Ka is confronted with a major decision as she prepares to open her heart and reveal the truth about everything she has kept hidden all this time. Her feelings for CEO Hung, her concerns, her anxieties, and the deep secrets within her heart. All of it will be exposed. Today, Tia Ka must not only face her own emotions, but also the truth she has always tried to conceal. Will she have the courage to confront these feelings? And will CEO Hung be able to understand and accept her for who she truly is? Everything will be revealed in this conversation, as all secrets and unsaid words are finally shared. Under the setting sun, each tear of hers gently fell to the ground. She sat there, lost in thought, her eyes gazing far into the distance, feeling as though everything had surpassed the limit of what she could endure. All that remained was nameless pain, aching deeply within her heart. The feeling of loneliness, an emptiness so overwhelming that she couldn't express it in words. But then a familiar figure appeared. Hung, the one who always showed up in moments when she thought she no longer had the strength to stand, quietly approached her. He sat down, placing his hand on her shoulder, gently offering comfort. She turned to look at him, her eyes red and filled with unspoken emotions. She felt the warmth from him, like a solid anchor amidst the storm of her life. She silently thought to herself how lucky she was to have him here. That feeling became a source of strength, helping her to gradually calm down, though there were still many things inside her that needed to be set free. She bit her lip tightly, then spoke softly. "Thank you. Thank you for always being by my side, especially when I feel like I'm about to fall apart." Hung looked at her, his face full of concern, not understanding what was happening. He quickly asked, his voice filled with urgency, "What's going on? Why are you crying? Why is this happening?" She took a deep breath, trying to hold herself together and not collapse under the weight of her emotions. Her eyes gazed far away as she began to tell her story. "Before I met you, I had to go through so much suffering. My mother-in-law always saw me as an outsider, never accepted me. She falsely accused me and forced me to leave the house. My husband, he listened to his mother, believed her words without trusting me, even though I sacrificed everything to live with him when he was released from prison." Her voice dropped, as if every word she spoke caused her more pain. "Even though he was the one I loved, I accepted everything without resentment. But just when my life was starting to stabilize, more suffering came crashing down. I never expected that he would betray me, seeking out another woman when I was struggling the most. She is the one he chose to replace me, ignoring my child and me. He didn't care, not a single word of comfort." She choked with emotion, her hands clenched tightly as if trying to hold on to everything that once belonged to her, but she felt helpless. Hung said nothing, quietly watching her, his gaze full of sympathy. She continued, her voice becoming even more painful. "I trusted him. I sacrificed everything, and yet, just for his own satisfaction, he pushed me into the abyss. My mother-in-law still refuses to understand me, always turning her back, and I was left alone in the dark nights, not knowing what to do or how to live." Her voice cracked, each word piercing her heart, leaving a wound that would never heal. But at that moment, she knew that at least he was here, listening, sharing her pain. Only he, Hung, the one man who never turned away, who never abandoned her in this moment. When she stopped speaking, Hung remained silent, his eyes seemingly trying to comprehend everything she had been through. The scars of her past, those dark days, seemed impossible to erase. But she knew that perhaps only he could help her start over, no matter how cruel life had been. She sat silently, her emotions rising within her. The painful memories of the past surged like a powerful wave, consuming her heart. Each time she remembered the difficult days, the wounds that had never healed, tears silently fell. She told him about the pain that had tormented her, the suffering she had endured for so many years. Each story carried the suffocating weight of feelings she had never expressed to anyone. Because of all this, she said, her voice trembling, I can't easily open my heart to you. I can't love you completely right now. I'm afraid that when I love too much, I'll have to endure the pain again. He looked at her, quietly listening to every word she said. His eyes never left hers, filled with empathy and patience. When she finished speaking, he gently took her hand, his warm touch seemingly offering her a sense of peace. Don't worry, he said, his voice deep and tender. Even if you can't trust me immediately, even if you still have concerns, I will always be here by your side. I will wait patiently, not rushing. I don't expect you to open your heart right now. I just need you to trust that I will never disappoint you. His words were like a soothing balm, providing her with a deep sense of comfort. Though what he said could easily make someone else trust him, she couldn't easily let go of her fears. Her feelings for him were truly sincere, but the fear that he would change once he had her heart continued to haunt her. The moments spent with him, even doing simple things like going to the market together, planting trees, or chopping vegetables for dinner, made her feel an unexpected happiness. He never showed any signs of exhaustion when helping her, even always willing to take on tasks that he didn't have to do. She had never met anyone like him, someone who always put the needs of others above his own without complaining. Still, she couldn't stop thinking about the question she had never dared to ask him. She looked into his eyes filled with affection and warmth, but also with anxiety. Will you always be like this? She asked, her voice soft but full of emotion. When I open my heart to you, when I truly love you, will you always treat me like this? Will you not change, not give up, not get tired when things are no longer the same as they were at the beginning? That question seemed to be the deepest fear within her. She was afraid that this love was just a temporary wave, a feeling that could fade over time. She had suffered through painful experiences in her previous relationship and couldn't help but fear that his love would not last. She hoped that the love he had for her was genuine, not just because of her appearance or what she could offer, but because of who she truly was, because of the empathy and respect he showed her. He looked at her, his eyes seeming to reflect deep thought for a moment, as though he was carefully considering his response. Then he gently spoke, his words carrying an unshakable certainty. I can't promise that everything will always be easy, because life is never a straight path. But I promise that I will always try, that I will never give up. I will not disappoint you, no matter the challenge. I will not change. I will always treat you the way I do now, and I will always love you, no matter who you are. Her heart felt much lighter after his response, but she still couldn't shake the worries in her mind. Would time answer everything? Would his feelings for her remain as strong as he promised? Or would there come a day when he grew tired and gave up? She wondered, but then she realized that some things couldn't be known in advance, and only time would be able to prove everything. She looked at him, her eyes full of affection and appreciation. Even though she couldn't completely erase all the doubts in her heart, she knew that with him, she had found someone who could share all her joys and sorrows, someone who was ready to be by her side in the most difficult moments. She only hoped that this love would be strong enough to overcome any challenge, and that he would always be the one beside her, no matter how many hardships or storms they faced. Not knowing, as she spoke about the things she had been through, the burdens that still clung to her, and the doubts she still harbored about him, whether his feelings for her would ever change. Looking back at everything Tiuca has been through and understanding the deep emotion she has for life and those around her, we cannot help but recognize an important truth. The people who stand by us, share our joys and sorrows, and love us during our hardest moments truly deserve to be cherished. They are the ones who continuously offer us care, patience, and unconditional love, no matter who we are or what we go through. They are not just an important part of our lives. They are the ones worthy of our love, protection, and care. She, with all the wounds life has inflicted, is still able to open her heart, trust, and love others. It is this strength and tenderness that make people like Tiuca deserving of sincere love and care. Therefore, let us appreciate the people by our side. Love them not just when they are strong, but also when they are weak, when they need comfort. They are the bright stars in our lives, and they deserve to receive all the beautiful feelings they have given us.
Khi nhìn lại những gì Tiểu Ca đã trải qua và hiểu được những tình cảm sâu sắc mà cô ấy dành cho cuộc sống và những người xung quanh, chúng ta không thể không nhận ra rằng đó là một điều cực kỳ quan trọng. Những người luôn ở bên cạnh ta, chia sẻ những niềm vui và nỗi buồn và tình yêu thương trong những khoảnh khắc khó khăn nhất thật sự xứng đáng được trân trọng. Họ là những người không ngừng dành cho ta sự quan tâm, lòng kiên nhẫn và tình yêu vô điều kiện. Dù chúng ta có thế nào đi nữa, họ không chỉ là một phần quan trọng trong cuộc sống mà là những người đáng để yêu thương, bảo vệ và chăm sóc. Cô ấy với tất cả những tổn thương mà cuộc sống đã gieo rắc, nhưng vẫn có thể mở lòng, tin tưởng và yêu thương người khác, giúp đỡ người khác. Chính sự mạnh mẽ và dịu dàng ấy là lý do tại sao Tiểu Ca xứng đáng có được tình yêu thật sự và sự quan tâm chân thành. Vì vậy, chúng ta hãy biết trân trọng những người bên ta, yêu thương họ trong khi không chỉ khi họ mạnh mẽ mà còn khi họ yếu đuối, khi họ cần được vỗ về. Họ chính là những ngôi sao sáng trong cuộc đời chúng ta và họ xứng đáng nhận được sự quan tâm, tình yêu tốt đẹp của chúng ta dành cho họ. Tiểu Ca cũng vậy, cô luôn xứng đáng được nhận tình yêu thương từ những người xung quanh, đặc biệt đó là những người có tình cảm với cô.